Now, earlier on, we spoke about the importance of children knowing what is and what is not appropriate to post online. And we're continuing that conversation right now with our regular creative parenting expert, Nikki Bush. Lovely topic. I love this. I think parents should be in the know when it comes to social media platforms. Now, we mentioned apps like Snapchat and Instagram, very highly specific, photo-specific kind of platforms as well to be able to share your photos and what you are doing, I guess, in your day-to-day life. But I mean, what are some of the dangers and the loopholes when it comes to these kind of platforms?
So take Snapchat, for example. Kids love it because the photographs that they post disappear within 6 to 8 seconds. They kind of magically disappear.
Wow, okay.
And what that means is that they think that they can now do risky stuff, like post naked selfies, for example, because the photo is going to disappear.
Wow, I didn't
But
even
there
know.
are loopholes here, because firstly, the app owns the material. Secondly, what stops another child from taking a photograph with another phone when that picture comes up and then sharing it, say, on Instagram? So there are loopholes, there are ways to get around it, and our children need to be aware of that. And to put naked selfies out there is so risky, because the minute you press send or post,
Out of your control.
it's out of your control. The message is gone no matter what you delete. It's out there on somebody's timeline. And remember, the internet is backed up over and over again, all over the world, many times a day. There are multiple versions. And recruiters and employment agencies are getting really clever at looking back at your history, not just what is out there, but what you've deleted as well.
Wow, I did not think about that one as well. That is very crazy. But let's turn it around to the parents for a second. Of course, I'm a proud
very
parent.
proud dad.
Very proud dad. I love my 2 boys. But from a personal point of view, I'm kind of hesitant to upload pictures of my boys specifically all the time. I keep that to a bare minimum where I can. But in your advice from you, why should parents be wary of just going about posting pictures of their children all the time on social media platforms?
So firstly, once again, we go back to privacy settings.
Okay.
90% of people on Facebook do not use their privacy settings. So we should have private profiles, not public profiles. And then when you accept friends, you should put them in categories like friends and family, colleagues, etc. And then you can choose which groups can see what photographs, which means that you could let your friends and your close friends and your family see your kiddies on the beach wearing no clothes, for example, but you wouldn't put that on your public profile. Okay. So things to be aware of: don't put naked selfies of even toddlers out there, because there are pedophiles just waiting for that picture. And then once again, if you've got like teenage girls, be careful of the swimming costume pictures if you're putting them in public. And when you've got teenagers, what you think is a nice picture, they might think makes them look like a dog.
Okay.
Because they're in a different headspace. And we should start asking our children permission when they hit that sort of teenage time, whether it's okay for me to post this to family and friends on Facebook. And vice versa, your kids should also ask you permission if they want to post something too. Yeah. And then, of course, just going back to children, especially the teens, because we're going into the Christmas season, party time, etc. When they post pictures of each other, when they're partying, things can be taken out of context. And you just might be in a pose that makes you look blind drunk, but you weren't.
Yeah.
And so they need to learn how to delete pictures, untag themselves, ask friends to take a picture down. So there are ways and means of doing it, and I think there's a new setting on Facebook as well, where actually before somebody posts a picture of you, they have to get your permission.
Exactly.
So make sure you say yes or no, wisely.
So privacy settings is all about, make sure that you know all about, what these social media platforms can do for you in terms from a security point of view. I would love to ask one more question, if you could just wrap it up very quickly. If somebody uses your picture or a picture of your child without your permission on social media, I mean, that has happened to me as well before. What do you stand to do?
Well, firstly, as I said just now, you can ask them to delete it. You can make the request. If they won't delete it, you can take legal action.
Okay.
But that, of course, is time-consuming and costs money. So you try first with yourself. If it doesn't work, then you've got recourse.
Awesome. Nikki, thank you so much for joining us. Very interesting topic indeed. Photomania. Parents, best you get up to scratch as to what the social media platforms are all about so that you can ensure the safety of your children.